there's another genocide expert I saw came out recently to say that there is a genocide occurring in Gaza. William Schabas, he tends to focus on the legal side of genocide, and I thought that was interesting because in the past he has had a definition of genocide that focuses on the biologics, like the physical deaths. And in the past, he has said that the requirement that the perpetrator act with intent to destroy a protected group in whole or in part means that the word destroy must be taken in its material sense, physical or biological destruction, and not cultural destruction. And a lot of what we've been speaking about is the dissolution of culture, but also the massive amounts of deaths, not purely the biological destruction. As a genocide expert yourself, what do you think would compel a guy like William Schabas, who has stuck to that biological requirement in the past, which is something like you saw in the Holocaust, where 63% of Jews being killed in Gaza. At this moment, it's around 3%. What do you think his reasoning could be behind declaring what's happening right now in Gaza as a genocide, even though it contradicts his definitions in the past?
Look, I mean, I can't speak for Bill Schabas. I spoke with him. We met in June in a conference on genocide, and we spoke at length about this. And his position on Gaza was formed in 2014. And by 2025, he was saying that this was absolutely a genocide. So I can't say exactly why he changed his position. If and you would have to ask him whether he actually believes that he changed it or not. The way I can understand it is that what you see happening in Gaza is not only killing large numbers of people, and I expect that whenever this ends, the numbers are going to be very high,
Mm,
uh, but also that you are destroying lives on an unprecedented, certainly for the 21st century, to an unprecedented extent. If you think that, if you remember that in Gaza, half of the population are under 18,
yeah.
and you think what happens to all those young people, boys and girls, babies, toddlers, who have been deeply traumatized by the horrific killing that is going on there, by the bombing, and that have been deprived of food, even if they don't die of hunger, that will be stunted for the rest of their lives. If you think of these sort of horrors, and we told before about women who are suffering terribly from this, about the chronically ill who cannot get any hospital treatment. We have no clear count of how many of them died indirectly. Uh,
Mm,
so there is the physical toll and the mental toll on this population is extraordinary.
yeah.
And to speak about it in these kind of terms, well, it's only 60,000 people, is itself the- um, a kind of really inexplicable cynicism, but it also doesn't understand, doesn't reflect what is actually happening there. The people are living, uh, no one gets to drink clean water.
Mm,
Uh, um, People are just living in absolutely abysmal conditions, and the long-term effects of that, even if, which I don't know how, but even if this group will be able to reconstitute itself somehow in Gaza,
yeah.
the price for generations will be absolutely incalculable. So I suspect that Shabbos, who is conservative in his views on defining genocide, has been exposed to a great deal of that,
Yeah.
and felt that you could not call it anything else. And the last thing I think that I believe has influenced his thinking is what I said before. Within legal thinking, and he's an expert in international law.
Yeah, he's a legal guy.
He's a legal guy. He meets Philip Sands in The Hague. They argue before the ICJ and ICC. Um, I think another element that must have swayed him is the fact that there is no longer any other explanation for what Israel is doing in Gaza. You can no longer, you could say at the beginning, Israel has a right of self-defense, it's fighting a war in urban warfare, in built-up areas, there are human shields. You could come up with all kinds of arguments that would at least contextualize the amount of people dying. Now you can't do any of that. It's simply
Yeah.
impossible. There is no other explanation but that one.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, there's a lot more waiting for you. Join the Zach Show 2.0 to unlock the full video and audio version of this episode, plus bonus content you won't find anywhere else. Exclusive AMAs, the entire back catalog of premium episodes, and the ability to submit topics and questions for future shows. Subscribe today at thezachshow.supercast.com. I'll see you there.